Good evening, everybody. It is Charlie here, and welcome back to another video on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. Hope everyone's had a great day so far, and of course, you've had a great day. And why is that? Because Leeds United got all 3 points last night at Ellen Road under the lights against Nottingham Forest. 2-1 victory. Much needed, very, very much needed, and boy, was it a good performance as well. Just before we get into it, guys, please smash a like on the video if you don't mind. It really helps get the stream out there, and it'll be obviously good to get more eyes on the channel. Please subscribe as well if you're brand new. It is free. It really helps me out, and it'll be edging me ever closer to hitting 3,000 subscribers. And get all of your thoughts and opinions in the live chat as we go. It's your edition of the final say, where we're just going to go in a little bit more detail about Leeds United's 2-1 win over Nottingham Forest last night. There's a few of you in the building at the minute. Jason's here as always. Evening, mate. How we doing? Julie's in the building as well. Evening, Charlie. Great win last night. 3 massive points, desperately needed, as we all know. Hope you're okay. Yeah, I'm amazing, Julie. Especially after last night. It wasn't just the result; it was the performance that came with it. I thought was really, really good. So yeah, we'll obviously get into it in a short while. JC's in the building. Evening, Jay. Happy to be able to catch a live stream. Thank you very much for joining, Jay, mate. Hopefully, hopefully everyone is enjoying the content on the channel at the minute. The views seem to be a bit up and down at the moment. As I say, I always try to provide as good of content as I possibly can. And as long as you're all enjoying it, then that's the main thing. So Manjeet's in the building as well. Evening, Chai. Fantastic result. Yes, it was. And we'll obviously get into that now. So yeah, as I said in my preview, as I'm sure everyone had the same opinion, last night had to be a win. It had to be a win, not just because of what happened at Arsenal, because I think that was always probably going to happen. It was inevitable. But I said, this week of games is the biggest week in our recent history. Forest last night, Palace on Sunday, and rightly or wrongly, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, we will know on Sunday a very good idea actually of where Leeds United will be playing football next season. And last night's result puts us in very, very good stead ahead of Sunday's fixture. Now, obviously, we'll come on to Palace in a little bit more detail shortly. Towards the end, but I am a lot more confident about that Palace game now after watching last night. Because, like I said, guys, the Forest game last night, it wasn't just about the win that impressed me. One, we came back from a goal down. That shows great character in a very high pressure moment as well. But the performance that came with it, I thought it was as close to being a complete performance as I've seen all season, barring Chelsea at home. I think that's probably the second game this season where it was a complete performance, in my opinion. Yeah, we had a bit of a wobble in the opening 10 to 15 when Forest took the lead, but that was just as a result of an individual error once again. I don't think. Well, we'll come on to Forest in a little bit. Jay's in the building again. Big performances from a lot of players last night. A well-deserved 3 points. Yep, 100%. Jared's in the building. Evening, mate. How we doing? I think giving a few players rest against Arsenal was the right move last night and this week, and are more important. Yeah, exactly. I still disagree with the approach against Arsenal. I think we should have at least gone for it a little bit in the first half, and then if it wasn't working, then switch it and rest players. That's fine. But obviously, we aren't thinking about Arsenal now. It's a thing of the past. And as you've said there, mate, last night and Sunday are very much more important than what the Arsenal game was, 100%. Newcastle are already a goal up, according to Manjeet and Jason. Obviously, apologies that I'm doing it at the same time as the West Ham Newcastle game, guys. It's just obviously with other things that I've had on earlier and stuff. This is the best time for me to do it tonight. But from what I'm seeing, Callum Wilson has given Newcastle United the lead on the 6th minute of that game. Very good for us. All the results last night went for us as well. Bournemouth got beat. Leicester got beat. You know what I mean? It was all in, if Carlsberg did Tuesdays, then that will have been it. Warren Bateson is in the building as well, advising us about Newcastle winning. Yeah, so again, that's great for Leeds, and hopefully they can keep that up. There's 14 of you in the building at the minute, guys. That's really good considering the game that is on at the minute. Please smash a like on it if you haven't already. Please subscribe to the channel as well if you're brand new, and get all of your thoughts and opinions in the live chat as we go, and I will flash them up on screen. So yeah, as someone's already said, a lot of really good individual performances last night. I just want to touch on a few now. Weston McKennie, that's the best game that Weston McKennie has had in a Leeds United shirt so far. I thought he grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck, as did a few others as well. I thought his passing, his ball winning, tackling, his composure, his calmness on the ball. He wasn't flustered. He didn't give the ball away cheaply. His good link up play down that right hand side, with Ayling and Harrison and even Aronson at times. I thought it was really West player that get bits of the team. Obviously, been out. I have no complaints, and if he can maintain that level of performance, I wouldn't mind buying him on a permanent deal at the end of the season. Obviously, if Leeds United do stay up, which I do think we will now, I think we'll be okay. I'm very confident ahead of Palace, guys. I can't lie now after watching that. Again, that doesn't mean it'll definitely happen for us on Sunday, but after watching that last night, I am way, way more confident. But yeah, hit me up in the comments, guys, your thoughts on Weston McKennie. Do you agree with me? Is that his best game in a Leeds United shirt? For me, it is. I just thought it was sublime. Speaking of sublime, his midfield partner in that pivot, Mark Rocker, again, probably best performance of the season for Mark. Um, again, the guy's passing range is unbelievable. His general passing as well as even his short passing, long passing. Again, he was ball winning, he was tackling, he was grafting in that midfield. He was organising, he was getting at the other players. He was getting everyone organised. He was giving advice. It was a real captain's level performance from Mark Rocker. And look, I've had opinions of him at various points this season, but I think it's clear to see now that the Jesse Marsh system massively hindered his ability and his attributes. I think Javi Gracia is playing him in the right system where he can really play his true football. And yeah, I thought last night it was unbelievable for me. Really, really good level of performance. Sinistera, I mean, people slagged him off after the Arsenal game, but at the end of the day, he played as a number 9. The guy's not a number 9, he's a winger, and he's way more effective out wide. And last night proved that. Even if he hadn't have scored his goal, I thought he was taking players on. His technical ability is unbelievable. His passing was good as well. He was linking up well with Junior Firpo. What a partnership that is, by the way. We'll be coming on to Firpo in a second, but Sinisteri just oozes quality. You can tell, especially, I was there last night, in the flesh when you see him, is an unbelievable footballer. Took his finish really well as well. Nice cut inside, a slight drop of the shoulder, and a good curl to beat Keylor Navas in the Nottingham Forest goal. Jack Harrison, again, one of his best, I'd say arguably his best performance of the season. Scores the equaliser, which, yeah, it's virtually a tap in, but he still has to have the composure and the calmness to slot that away, and he does really effectively. Um, Again, Jack Harrison being direct, didn't have his head down and just running into traffic. He was looking up, he was taking men on, he was whipping balls in the box. Good link up play with Luke Ayling down that right hand side, and Brendan Aronson as well. It was and Bamford actually, some decent link up play with Paddy as well. I just thought all in all, it was a really good performance from Jack. And Junior Firpo. Come on. Have you ever actually seen quite a turnaround in a Leeds United player's career at Leeds? I had him written off. I was at a point where I would have driven him to the airport myself. But let's be real here, guys. Junior Firpo is our left back now. He is. And look, I'm not saying that he won't ever have a bad game again. Of course he will. But he's putting together more consistent performances now. You know, tackling, getting forward, overlapping runs, decent, good quality cutbacks. Again, there was no one on end of them half at time, unfortunately. But cutbacks, crosses into the box. Very, very good levels of performance from Junior Firpo. And look, I hope it continues for him because he's on a roll at the minute. We'll just get into a few more of your comments, JC. My only criticism, and I am being picky, would be we could have been a bit more clinical in front of goal. We should have won by 4 or 5. Yeah, and I said that after the game last night when I was walking back to the car with my uncle. I said, you know, don't get me wrong, buzzing that we've got the 3 points. Absolutely elated. I was on like the title suggests, guys. I am still on cloud nine about it. Nosebleed territory in 13th. It is really positive. I thought the performance was dominating. We really, really outplayed Nottingham Forest. It isn't a win where you can go, only just nicked that. We fully deserved that 3 points last night. Forest were garbage. But I get what you mean there, Jay. I think, Patrick Bamford has a few chances where he's just not as clinical, and I'll be coming on to Bamford a little later in the stream. But yeah, I think that's just always the case with Leeds. We can always score more goals than what we do in each game, but the main thing is we got the win. Jason saying drop Ayling, please. Again, I'll be coming on to Patrick Bamford and Luke Ayling in a little bit. So make sure you stay tuned, guys. Jared's saying Rocker and McKennie stepped up their game when we needed them to. They controlled the pace of that game, both with and without the ball. Couldn't have put it any better myself, mate. I think, like I say, with Tyler Adams being out, I was always a little bit skeptical and a little bit wary of these two playing together consistently. But if you look at it, both games that they've played together in that pivot, we've won both. That was home and away, Wolves and obviously Forest last night. I just thought they complemented each other really well. They both made each other look better. And if that can stay consistent between now and the rest of the season, I have no doubts about Leeds United being fine, honestly. Michael's in the building. I thought all the team did well, although I have question marks about Ayling and Bamford. Again, I will be coming to those two, so make sure you stay tuned, guys. JC's in again. McKennie and Rocker were 10 out of 10. They were a perfect partnership. It was just nice to see us be calm and composed on the ball. Yep, exactly. We didn't give the ball away as much, and even when we did, it wasn't in a dangerous area, which is obviously really good to see. But yeah, honestly, I just thought it was an unbelievable performance. Michael saying West Ham are currently 1-0 down. Yep, we know that, mate. Yeah, that's a really good result for us so far. Warren saying, do we continue with Grazia next season, or will the 49ers go for Brendan Rodgers? Oh, I hope not, mate. That's not a manager that I would have. I get why people may want him just for his Premier League experience, and he won the league at Celtic, but let's be honest, that's League One in England. I wouldn't personally go for Brendan Rodgers. For me, the football that we're seeing at the minute under Javi Grazia is very, very good. And for me, if he keeps us up and he keeps us up fairly comfortably in the end, there's no reason why he shouldn't be offered the job more full time. I think with a proper pre-season under his belt, without the added pressure of keeping Leeds up, maybe bringing his own players in as well, to fit his system, have a little bit better depth, then I think Javi Grazia can maybe take us to being a solid mid-table team, and then we could maybe have a look at moving him on and going elsewhere. Maybe that's the plan. I don't know, but whether they stick with Grazia or get a new manager, they have to get it right this time. They just really, really do. Jared saying TV announcer on US stream. US radio station, do you mean there, Jared? Was very negative about Firpo most of the match. What game was he watching? Yeah, I have heard this. I've heard this actually. I've heard that This guy apparently said Junior Firpo was poor going forward. I mean, maybe football's not for him, and maybe he should go to Specsavers because I thought Junior Firpo was outstanding last night. Warren's in the building saying it's 2-0 to Newcastle. Is this true? Not saying I don't believe you, mate, but I'm going to double check. Oh, it is as well. Oh, it is. Joe Linton has made it 2-0 to Newcastle inside 13 minutes. West Ham in the mud. Leeds United at the minute maintaining 13th place going into Sunday. Absolutely buzzing. Absolutely buzzing. JC, I would have driven Firpo back to Spain, never mind the airport, but he's flourishing under Javi. Exactly, and it just shows you. I think first season under Bielsa and Marsh, obviously he had COVID a few times, he was injured. First season under Jesse Marsh, I just think the system massively hindered him, and he pretty much said that in an interview, didn't he? Really, it was actually quite damning on Marsh. Was that interview from Junior Firpo? To be fair. Warren, grazie every day and twice on a Sunday. There you go. Javier's got Jason's seal of approval, and he's got mine at the minute as well. Look, it's the classic saying, is it? We win some, we lose some. And don't get me wrong, there'll be games where Javi gets it wrong. Like for me, he got it wrong against Arsenal. Not in the sense of, I'm not saying that if Leeds had had a full team out, that it meant we'd have won the game. I'm just saying we should have maybe approached it a little bit better. I think the team sheet clearly showed that he didn't care about that game, which rightly or wrongly, it is what it is. But yeah, I would definitely stick with Javi at the end of the season, especially if he keeps us up as well, which I do think he will now, in all honesty. But it isn't over yet, guys, so I'm not going to get too carried away, but I am a lot more confident after seeing that level of performance. And look, on Sunday, it might not be as good as what it was last night, but as long as we get the 3 points, that is all that matters. Junior Firpo transformation, absolutely, Manji, absolutely. Comments are flying in at the minute, guys. Really appreciate everyone's engagement. There's 16 of you in the building. Please smash that like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you're brand new as well, and get all of your comments in as you're all doing at the minute. Really great engagement. Really appreciate all the support on the channel, guys. Really does mean a lot. Look, I'm trying to grow this channel into more of a community as well. There's a lot of names in the live chat who I see on a regular basis who are always supportive, and it really doesn't go unnoticed, guys. It really doesn't. Warren Jason, I wouldn't disagree, to be honest. Yeah, exactly. Julie's again with the 2-0 to Newcastle, and Manji as well. Yeah, buzzing with that. I think Grazia deserves a chance. Yeah, he does. 100% he does. 3 wins in 6 games under Javi. 3 wins, 2 defeats, and 1 draw. All 3 wins have been against relegation rivals. God, my hand was a bit weird there. All 3 wins have been against relegation rivals. The 2 teams that we've got beat by, Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, Arsenal at the Emirates. On paper, you expect us to lose them anyway. And what now is a very, very good home point against Brighton. So, for me, he's done very, very well. And for me, he definitely deserves it. Jason's agreeing with Warren. Yeah, 100%. Jay, the announcer was ex-Leeds player Paul Robinson. He just hates Leeds, always negative about us. Paul Robinson, you can't mean the keeper because he isn't American, but whoever it was, if he was saying that about Firpo, then he needs his eyes testing because, yeah. And Jason saying it was Paul Robinson on commentary, Leeds legend, my ass. Fair enough. Javi reminds me of Bielsa in the way he carries himself, a very humble man. Quiet spoken, doesn't like being in the spotlight. It's not about him, but the football and the players, the opposite of Marsh. Yeah, I think Marsh spoke a little bit too much. Javi's a little bit more reserved, and that's what I like about him. Look, I ain't saying he's the same level of coach as Marcelo Bielsa, but he is very similar in how he conducts himself and the tactics, really. I think the tactics are very similar. There was a lot of passages of play in which I saw last night where it was very similar of Bielsa, but obviously it just doesn't have the man-to-man marking, which I think we can all agree is a positive. I'm just going to get through the next few comments, and then I've got a few more points that I want to make, but I really do appreciate there's 20 people in the building at the minute. That's amazing to see. I'm a little concerned with the 49ers takeover. I hope they stick with Grazia and not get any unknown manager like Jesse Marsh. I'll be honest, I think if he keeps us up, I think he gets it. I think there'll be an agreement in place where if he keeps us up well, then he will get it. Hopefully he does anyway, and I think he'd want it as well because it seems like he's enjoying his time here so far. West Ham United goal difference is now equal to Leeds -11. Fair enough, but we've got more points than them, and we're higher in the league, aren't we, Michael? 4 wins in 23 under Jesse, and then 3 wins under Javi says it all, really. Yep, couldn't have said it better myself. Jack and Cine now looking dangerous under Javi wide system. We look like a totally different and much better team. I couldn't agree more. Ted, you're a new name that I've seen in the chat. Welcome to the channel, mate. If you haven't already, please subscribe, mate. There's plenty of content coming. So then, a few more points I just wanted to get into. As I've said, I think it's one of the most complete performances that I've seen from us all season, and it was really good to see. I think, look, Marsh ball was very frantic, was very, quick pace. Whereas now we seem like just a normal football team. I was listening to the match ball earlier on the Square Ball podcast, and I think Michael Normanton said it perfectly. He said, we just seem more normal now, and it's spot on. There was even a point where Leeds just had the ball at the back. We were just nicely just passing it about. It wasn't frantic. It wasn't rushed. It wasn't, go, go, go. And it wasn't all narrow, everyone congested in the centre circle like it was under Jesse. It's wide. We actually use wingers as wingers. I know, mind blowing. And yeah, it's just so much better now, guys. It's so much better. And like I say, there'll be games that are frustrating. There'll be games that will get beaten under Javi. But for me, the fact that he's willing to change tactics given the opponent and he adapts in game, pre game, whatever, I think that just shows the levels in class as a manager compared to Jesse Marsh. Yeah, let's just briefly speak about Nottingham Forest then. Just briefly, because this isn't me being bitter because I don't like them. I don't actually have any ill feelings toward Forest. They're just another club to me. But they are the worst performing away team that I've seen come to Ellen Road this season. If I was a Forest fan, I wouldn't be happy watching that football. It's very boring, especially when John Joe Shelby came on. They brought a load of tall players on, and it was just hoofball. It was just hoofing it up, hoping for it to fall in the right place. Unfortunately for us, it didn't. Morgan Gibbs-White did nothing in the game. Again, one of their most influential players, apparently. Emmanuel Dennis, he hits the bar in the opening few minutes, but other than that, what did he do? Nothing. Brennan Johnson, probably their main threat, was pocketed by Junior Firpo. He was woeful last night. I actually didn't know he was on the pitch until the second half, genuinely. I didn't realise because he didn't do anything. Fair play to the Forest fans. They were loud until we went in front, and then we didn't know they were there. But fair play to them. Obviously in the 23rd minute, we obviously turned our backs for a minute for Chris and Kev, and they didn't mock it, they didn't boo it, they didn't chant anything offensive towards us. They clapped us afterwards, which was really good and respectful to see. And yeah, big shout out to Chris and Kev's family and friends today. Obviously 23 years since they lost their lives in Istanbul. Nobody should ever go to a football game. Nobody should ever go to a football game, and never return home. So yeah, look, big shout out to them I imagine a very difficult and upsetting day, but all the Leeds fans, the Leeds squad, the staff, and everyone, they're all with them, and it was a good tribute to Chris and Kev last night. But yeah, back to Forest, abysmal, probably the worst. Like I said, the worst away team that I've seen at Ellen Road this season. And look, that's what annoys me in a way that we didn't score more goals because I think we really could have put them to the sword. But look, the 3 points was all that mattered, really, wasn't it? JC's in the building. Make sure you smash a like and subscribe. Yep, exactly. There's 22 of you in the building at the minute. Please smash a like if you haven't already and subscribe to the channel if you're brand new. Manjeet, Paul Robinson always highlights negative points. I'm shocked. Yeah. Jason, Marsh talks the talk, Javi walks the walk. Yeah, exactly. I think Marsh just needed to shush sometimes. I think he spoke a little bit too much. Obviously, he came out on Twitter, didn't he, throughout the week, um, thanking Leeds, thanking the fans and everything. It took a while for him to do that, didn't it? But look, I have no ill feelings towards him. It just didn't work, and he should have gone a lot sooner, in my opinion. Manjeet saying, I like the way Grazia changes tactics against clubs. Yeah, exactly. I think even under Bielsa, we always wanted a little bit of pragmatism, didn't we? We always wanted a level of pragmatism, different approach, different tactics, because let's be honest, there's some clubs, especially in the top six, where you can't approach games against them like you would against a Nottingham Forest, for example. You just can't, and I think Javi knows that. Um, Almost forgot about Sinistera with him out for so long and with Nonto performing so well. It's good to have two players like that have that special factor and that can produce extra factor. Yeah, exactly. And look, imagine Nonto and Sinistera on the pitch at the same time. That would be quite something. I think obviously they both operate from the left, but I think Nonto is quite capable of playing out on the right, so it'd be interesting to see them two on the pitch at the same time, wouldn't it? Forest are terrible. Only wanted to ping it over the top and try to run it behind Strout, Firpo, and Cork. Had it covered all game. Yeah, exactly. Especially when John Joe Shelby came on. Every time he had the ball, he just looked up and just hoofed it up top. And you could see it was always a nothing ball. It was always just a hit and up. But I thought Pascal was really good last night as well. I forgot to mention him earlier. I thought, you know, he's been out of the team for a while, and people were maybe thinking he was maybe not finished, but it was. I think he was just out of form. And look, at the start of the season, he was playing left back when he's a centre half, so you can't really moan too much at him. One of my mates is in the building here, Jacob. Hey up, mate. How are we doing? Do you think we're going to continue our good form or do a typical Leeds and survive relegation the hard way and make it hard for ourselves? God, that's a question, isn't it, mate? I'm sure us two could have a long debate about that over a phone call. A bit of both, I think, mate. I think, look, like I said earlier, Javi's come in and he's beaten the teams that we should be beating. Obviously, if we're talking this season as a whole, we've had a poor season again, mainly due to the type of football that we were playing under Jesse Marsh. I think we've nicked some surprise results. Obviously, Chelsea at home, at Anfield that night as well. But I think we'll continue to pick up points against the teams in and around us. I do, and I think Palace. Look, I said a bare minimum 4 points out of last night and Sunday, but after seeing that level of performance last night, along with the result there, mate, I think Palace has to be a win, and then you're starting to see the finish line a little bit there. So yeah, obviously, I'm sure there'll be certain games where Leeds will end up doing a Leeds and we'll make it hard for ourselves, but I think we'll. I dread to say, look, this could come back to bite me on arse a little bit, to be fair, but I don't think it'll go down to the last game. I think we'll be okay. Um, I do, especially after seeing that type of performance last night, mate. Um, Jared, Forest players couldn't even dribble forward alone. They kept stepping over the ball and losing it without being challenged. Yep, completely agree. Great tribute and respect for Chris and Kev last night. Yeah, 100%. It was a bit. It was actually quite moving in the ground, really. And I was actually thinking to myself at one point, God, could you imagine if we scored whilst we were doing that? I think it'd have made it all that bit sweeter, wouldn't it? But yeah, it was an amazing tribute, and obviously I've seen all at players laying flowers outside Ellen Road today, which is good to see from them as well. Charlie, I respectfully disagree with you about Nottingham Forest. For me, Southampton were the worst team to come to Ellen Road. They didn't register a single shot on target in a Leeds 1-0 win. Yeah, fair play, mate. I can understand you thinking there. But what I mean is, and look, I've seen other Leeds YouTubers say this, since last night, and I agree. At least with Southampton, you could tell what they were trying to do. They were trying to play out through the back. They were trying to work it through midfield. They were trying to, they had more of a plan. I think Forest last night were, other than the goal, which I'll come into in a second when I discuss Luke Ayling, other than the goal, they didn't do anything of any real note in the game. Was that down to them being poor or us being good and stopping them? A bit of both, probably. Um, but yeah, I was actually expecting a bit more from Forest. But I think when you sign that many players, Steve Cooper just thought, I'm just going to throw on all these players and hope for best. And you could tell it was just random players coming on, and they didn't have a clue, really, did they? So yeah, it was poor from Forest. Hill football scene, same for what, mate? Could you elaborate on that a bit? Um, Javi has a plan B, C, D, etc. Yeah, he does. If plan A isn't working, he'll change it mid game. He has the bravery to do that, and that's really good to see. As well as Pascal performed yesterday, but if Wober is fit, he comes back in. Yeah, and look, I agree with that, Michael. In all honesty, I do, because I think Verber's our best centre back now. But if Verber is going to be out again, I have no issue with Pascal Struijk stepping in 100%. Why is there only 2 likes? Come on, people. 19 of you in the building and there's only 2 likes. Smash a like on the video, guys. It's free. It helps get the stream out there, and it's really, really does help me out. I want to hit 3,000 subscribers as well as soon as possible. So if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. It's also free, and you'll be really doing me a favor there. Refresh screen. Oh, right. Okay. There's 13. Fair enough. Fair enough. But let's get some more on it. There's 20 people in the building now. Let's get another 7 on there for all you people that haven't. I felt no fear from Forest last night. Yeah. I mean, I was nervous before the game, not because of Forest, like thinking they were going to, thinking that Forest are world beaters, because they're definitely not. I was just thinking, please don't do a Leeds. Please don't mess it up. You know what I mean? Pascal over Cock, not for me. Obviously, because Pascal's a left-footed centre back, so you'd be asking him to play on the right. No, I would have Cock and Pascal together against Palace if Verber is still injured. Right then, let's get on to not negatives, but just all right, negatives. There is a few things that I want to talk about. So, firstly, Patrick Bamford. Now, I'll be honest, at the game, maybe I just had blinkers on because I was enjoying it so much, but I didn't feel like in the moment that Patrick Bamford had a bad game. I actually thought his link-up play was decent at times. But then I've watched a few, I think someone on Twitter put a montage back. Now, I know it's easy to just clip up the things that players do bad in games, but there was a few things that I was watching and I was like, yeah, I forgot that. I forgot this. Oh, yeah, I forgot he did that. There's that one time where he gets played through. He's one-on-one with Felipe in their half, and he ends up back in our own half. I think he were overcompensating at times. He were taking way too many touches in certain moments. Obviously, shooting was a bit off when you think about it. He had that chance where he's pretty much just him and Keylor Navas, and he just fires it straight wide. Just lacks that bit of composure sometimes, does Bamford, and that clinical edge, which I think Rodrigo brings. Be interesting to see if he keeps Bamford in the starting 11 for Crystal Palace, or if he does decide to go with Rodrigo for that one. Brendan Aronson. Again, I said last night on my match review that it was a much improved performance, which I still think it was, but he still didn't really provide anything. No goals, no assists. There was some, decent bit of play. I think he's starting to put himself about more in terms of getting involved in tackles and, just being involved in the overall attacking play. But I'm struggling to see what he actually brings to the team. I get he puts effort in and his endeavours there, but we spent £25 million on him. I think I'd want to see a little bit more from Brendan Aronson. And then Luke Ayling, who for me, if I had to pick a worse Leeds United player, it would have been Luke Ayling last night. I thought he had a very mixed game. There was times where I thought his link-up play down the right-hand side was very good and he was attacking well. But obviously, the Forest goal, for me, it starts with him, that soft knockdown with a header right into the path of the Forest player, which sets them on the attack and they go and score from it. I think Luke Ayling, you can tell he's lacking a bit of confidence at the minute because when he's doing things wrong, you can see he's visibly frustrated on the pitch. Gives the ball away a little bit too much. Looks a bit nervous on the ball as well. And yeah, I do think he has improved his form overall of late, but I think last night was a very mixed bag from Luke Ayling. Do you think it's the end for Liam Cooper? He's yet to feature for Havit. He came on for a little bit against Arsenal at the weekend, but in the games that have mattered, he hasn't been used. I won't. Maybe it is the end of him starting games. I think they might keep him around as a squad player and someone to have in the dressing room. But I think his days of starting games are behind him. Everyone knows my opinion on Liam Cooper. I don't think he's Premier League standard. I think there's way better defenders at Leeds United than him. I would rather have Charlie Cresswell than Liam Cooper, and Cresswell has barely got any experience. So, yeah, that just says it all, really. Mr. Sitter, where he had all day and dragged it wide. Yep, I think you're referring to Bamford there. Same old Bamford, good old up play, poor finishing touch. Yeah. It was good first half, but second half it was terrible. Yeah, I think he was better in the first half, and there was a considerable drop off in the second half for me. Yeah. Well, in my opinion, Bamford wasn't fit. I think Bamford is fit, but I just think it's the level of performance we're seeing from him at the minute. But I can understand why you might think that. Aronson with Sinisterra on the sideline was a treat to watch. Yeah, it was really good bit of link-up play at one point with Firpo, Aronson and Cine all on that left-hand side in the first half. Ayling was typical Ayling, gave away possession 4 or 5 times within the first 25 minutes. He settled a bit in the second half, but will keep getting targeted by teams. Yeah, I think he did improve as the game went on, but I completely agree with you there. He will be targeted by teams, which is rather worrying. Aronson is full of beans, but lacks a football IQ for his level. Yeah, I think that's it. I think the potential's there, but at the minute, his football IQ could really be improved upon. You show me a fit Bamford, I show you a unicorn. Oh God, fair play. Bamford was wearing the new Nike trampoline boots again last night. God, yeah. I think Felipe did have his life a little bit at times, but then again, I think Bamford had his life at times as well. So it was a very interesting battle to see unfold. Cresswell better than Cooper. Yep. West Ham have scored apparently according to Hill Football. Love Cresswell. Hope he gets a speedy recovery and he gets a chance at Leeds. Yeah, 100%. There's confirmation from Hill Football of West Ham scoring. I'm just going to check myself. Yeah, West Ham have pulled a goal back through Kurt Zuma on the 40th minute. So it's 2-1 to Newcastle at the London Stadium. But again, that's still a good thing for Leeds. A draw even would be okay for us, I guess. But it'd be good if they could get beat. Ayling needs dropping yet. I don't know, Jace. I don't know. Because I don't think Rasmus is a great option at right back either. Look, I know he's scored 2 goals recently, but he looks like a guy that gets a nosebleed every time he passes the halfway line. So I don't know. Love Cressy. Hope he gets a speedy recovery. Yeah, 100%. 100%. So then, just a few more points then, guys. Obviously, we're just over 42 minutes into the stream. Just a few more points. Javi Ball is brilliant to watch when it works. I've got on my notes here. When I say when it works, I'm not saying it hasn't worked already, but I just think it's clear to see that when his tactics are spot on, that they absolutely are a joy to watch. You know, the one-touch passing, the link-up play, the quality of performance last night was very Bielsa-esque, in my opinion, just without the man marking. Like a lot of people have said about him at the minute, he seems very similar to Bielsa in how he conducts himself, his tactics, the fact that it's not all about him, it's about the football and the players, like someone said earlier in the comments, and it's bang on. It really is. I'm really enjoying him at the minute. I'll be completely honest, I didn't know what to make of him when he first come in. Um, but yeah, I'm really happy with him at the minute, which for me means that if we stay up, which I do think we will now, in all honesty, then he should be given the job on a more permanent basis for me. And yeah, as I said earlier, Matt Rocker and Weston McKennie, unbelievable partnership, and long may it continue. I don't know why I had that at my notes at the bottom when I spoke about them earlier, but anyway, let's just speak about it again. Matt Rocker and McKennie, good partnership. Like I said earlier, guys, if Tyler Adams is out for the season, which it looks like he is, I have no issue with them two starting in that pivot. My only worry is if one of them two gets an injury, then it'll be major panic stations for me anyway. But yeah, I thought they were both sublime. Unbelievable last night. I really did. Would you be open to the idea of buying or loaning for Ricardo Pepe? I think is the number 9 we're missing. I'll be completely honest. I've not heard of him, so I won't say yes or no. I haven't heard of him, but if I do think we should get a number 9, because let's be honest, Ruta isn't a number 9, and Javi said that, and it's interesting that at the minute he isn't giving him game time, is he? He didn't come on again last night. You know, we've paid £35 million for this guy. He's our record signing, so he should be getting game time for me. That's my bet down there. Oh, right. What did you have on, Jace? Did you have 2-0 Newcastle, I'm guessing, or I think Rasmus can flourish under Javi, similar to Firpo. Yeah, potentially, Jay, potentially. And look, I can understand why people are calling for Rasmus over Ayling at the minute, but I just think Ayling offers a bit more going forward. Agrees, Javi. Ball. Is he Bielsa's son? God. No, he isn't, but yeah, I can understand that comment. You had 2-0, Jace, right? Fair play. Nah, if Rocker or McKennie, we will stick Rasmus in there and he will bang in a few more goals. Yeah, because he played it in midfield against Arsenal, didn't he? Which was very strange to see. I don't know what the thinking behind that was, but hey, that's why I'm not a Premier League manager. So yeah, obviously the last thing that I just wanted to discuss regarding last night is man of the match. So hit me up in the comment section down below, guys. Who was your man of the match and why? My man of the match is Mark Rocker. I thought Mark Rocker had his best game in a Leeds United shirt, and fully deserves to get man of the match. I think he got it on the official Leeds United socials thing. I think it's the Boost energy drink man of the match or something. Matt Rocket got it, and for me, yeah, he he was outstanding last night. Everything about his play was unbelievable. So yeah, Matt Rocker for me was my man of the match. Pepe's on loan at Groningen. He scored 10 goals and 3 assists for a team that can't get out of their own half. He just seems to finish when he gets the chance. Fair play. Who knows? Or I might be having a look at him, mate. You never know. Rasmus, two goals in 3 games. Madness. Yeah, exactly. I never thought I'd say that in the same sentence. Matt Rocker for Jay, complete midfield performance. Yep, I agree. If we are getting a new striker for next season, we should go for Luis Apenda. Again, I'm not, I don't know all of these names, but fair enough. Fair enough. McKennie for you, mate. Wuxia Game Central. I hope I've pronounced that right, mate. McKennie for me is everything. Tyler is plus line breaking passing. Yeah, fair enough. I can understand why people are saying Weston McKennie. And Jason's saying Mark Rocket and Weston McKennie a close second. Yeah, fair play. I think them two were probably the best, but I just want to give other mentions like I did earlier to Firpo, Sinistera, Jack Harrison, and Pascal Strauch. I thought they were all amazing on the night as well. Just before we end this evening's stream, guys, let's just speak very briefly about Crystal Palace. I will be doing a preview for it on Saturday, but let's just speak about them briefly. Again, like I said about last night, it has to be a win. It just has to be. Um, yeah, we needed 6 points from this game. We've got from the next two games. We've got three of them already. Let's go and get the other three on Sunday afternoon. I think Palace, yes, they beat Leicester, but they only just beat Leicester in the 94th minute with the last kick of the game. Roy Hodgson ball up against Javi Gracia ball. Given the level of performance that I saw last night from us as well, I do have every confidence that we will get the win against Crystal Palace. And if we beat them, we'll go 12th and it'll just look a lot more better. And I think everyone's confidence levels will be through the roof and we'll be able to see the finish line a little bit clearer, in my opinion. Obviously, I think Palace, they haven't got Wilfred Zaha now for the rest of the season. That's a big blow for them. So, that will affect them negatively, in my opinion, in terms of their attacking play. I think if we can defend like we did last night, if we can have another similar performance, I am expecting the same complete performance because, that's unrealistic. But as long as we go out and get the 3 points, that is the main thing for me. Michael saying, I feel Southampton are searched for relegation and Nottingham Forest given their running and Leicester if they don't beat Bournemouth at home at the weekend. Yeah, I think Leicester are in massive trouble if they don't win at the weekend. Matt Rocker, man of the match, because long ball's so good yesterday and his tackle was good. His technical, yeah, 100%. Melee did a great job sitting in the lawn chair. Yeah, other than the goal, did Melee have anything to do? Made a few catches. Again, it's good. Warren, if we can score two, we win against Palace. Yeah, I would agree. I still see Sunday as a massive match against Palace. Another must win, and I'm confident we can do it. It won't be easy, but confidence will be high. Palace missing Zaha is huge. Yep, exactly as I've just said there, Jamie. I am confident after last night, and them not having Zaha is a huge bonus for Leeds United. Have a new bottom three: Southampton, Leicester, Forest. Yeah, I can understand why maybe people aren't putting Bournemouth in there now. I know Bournemouth got beat last night, but they've got a result in them. And we've still got to go to the Vitality Stadium and play them as well, which will be a very nervy and touchy affair, in my opinion. So, yeah, guys, we've been going for just over 50 minutes now. I'm going to draw it to a close. Really, really appreciate everybody that has dropped into the comment section and got involved and engaged in the live chat this evening. It's been another good debate and another good chat. Big up to everyone that's in the building at the minute. 15 of you. I think highest we've had is about 24 at the minute on today's stream. Make sure you smash a like on your way out. And if you're watching after the live stream ends, please subscribe as well. And yeah, so content for the rest of the week. Sorry, I have just remember that I need to make you aware of what's coming on the channel. So obviously tomorrow is the return of Opposition Focus. I've got the lads over at Eagle Eyed Football, the Crystal Palace channel, to help me out with that. So I'll be uploading that tomorrow night at about 7 o'clock ish. Friday will be your predicted 11 ahead of Crystal Palace. And then on Saturday, obviously I've been doing the last few previews live on the channel, but I have got plans on Saturday evening, guys. So it will be a pre-record for the match preview on Saturday. And then obviously there'll be content after the game and such, where we'll be discussing it in more detail. So basically, subscribe to the channel. I want to get to 3K subscribers as soon as possible. But more importantly, plenty of content coming to keep you all entertained over this bank holiday weekend. Who is the pen of 15 goals and 2 assists for Lons? Fair enough. I want Everton to go down so bad. Yeah, I know there seems to be the team that just won't go down. Warren's a thumbs up. Yeah, thank you, Warren. And just before we leave, JC is in the building. £5 donation. Really appreciate that, Jamie. Honestly, any donation that anybody can drop in to the channel is very, very much appreciated. And it goes back into the channel. Jay, what a legend, my friend. What a legend. Smash the like for a massive 3 points on Sunday. If you don't want to listen to me, then listen to Jay. Thanks for your donation, mate. And yeah, massive 3 points on Sunday. So yeah, as I said, guys, like the video, subscribe if you're brand new, get your comments in if you're watching after the live stream ends, and I'll see you on the channel tomorrow for the Opposition Focus. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.